Well, hello there once again and welcome to MMC World Roundup, where we connect you with the latest news from Sri Lanka and around the world. Before we dive right into the details, let's take a quick look at what's making headlines today. The IMF allows the Sri Lankan authorities to draw $336 million. A committee of inquiry to investigate intelligence services over Easter Sunday attacks. Penal code to be changed on sexual harassment. Well, taking a look at your news in detail, this year's Poson Festival was celebrated on June 21st.
Poson is a festival of great historical and religious significance celebrated island-wide by Buddhists. It commemorates the occasion over 2,000 years ago when Arhat Mahinda, son of Emperor Asoka of India, converted King Devanambitissa to Buddhism. Arhat Mahinda Thera and his companions, 4 Arhats, Ittiya, Uttiya, Sambala, Buddhasala, and the novice monk Sumana and layperson Bhanduka arrived in Sri Lanka in the 236th year after the Parinibbana of the Buddha to establish Buddha Sasana. Meanwhile, thousands of Buddhists in white robes flock to village temples all over the country, although the main event takes place at Mihintale in Anuradhapura. The streets were also adorned with colorful lanterns and pandals, decorated platforms depicting scenes from the Jataka tales, which are stories about Buddha's previous lives, to mark Poson Poya Day. Mindfulness Meditation Center Kovina also marked the Poson Poya Day with the presence of Buddhist devotees living in the US.
The Executive Board of the International Monetary Fund completed the second review under the 48-month extended fund facility arrangement, allowing the authorities to draw $336 million.
This brings the total IMF financial support disbursed so far to about $1 billion. The Executive Board also concluded the 2024 Article 4 consultation with Sri Lanka, the Washington-based lender said in a statement. The EFF-supported program aims to restore Sri Lanka's macroeconomic stability and debt sustainability, mitigate the economic impact on the poor and vulnerable, rebuild external buffers, safeguard financial sector stability, and strengthen governance and growth potential. The IMF said signs of economic recovery are emerging as real GDP expanded by 3% in the second half of 2023. May 2024 inflation was 0.9% and gross international reserves increased to $5.5 billion by end April 2024. The primary balance improved to a surplus with tax revenue increasing to 9.8% of GDP in 2023. Despite improvements in non-performing loans, pockets of vulnerabilities remain in the banking sector. The recovery remains gradual and the medium-term growth potential hinges on appropriate policy settings. Growth is projected to recover moderately in 2024-25, given constrained bank credit and fiscal consolidation, while facing uncertainties around the debt restructuring and policy direction following the elections. Inflation is expected to temporarily increase due to one-off factors. The current account is expected to remain positive in 2024, driven by improved tourist arrivals and remittances. Domestic risk could arise from waning reform momentum, especially on revenue mobilization. External risks are associated with intensified regional conflicts, commodity price volatility, and a global slowdown. Slow progress in debt restructuring could widen financing gaps.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe has appointed a committee of inquiry to investigate the actions taken by the State Intelligence Service, Chief of National Intelligence and other relevant authorities concerning prior intelligence received about the bomb attacks on April 21, 2019.
This decision follows the findings of the final report of the Commission of Inquiry dated January 31, 2021, which highlighted that Indian intelligence agencies and other sources had provided advance warnings about the impending attacks. The Committee of Inquiry will be chaired by Ms. A.N.J. Dialvis, retired judge of the High Court. Other esteemed members of the committee include SLA Special Grade Officer Ms. K.N.K. Somaratna and Senior Lawyer Mr. W.M.A.N. Nishen. The committee's mandate includes examining whether adequate actions and measures were taken by the SIS, CNI and other relevant authorities based on the prior intelligence and evaluating the sufficiency of these measures. Additionally, the committee will investigate the circumstances surrounding the Directorate of Military Intelligence's initial belief that Vaunathev killing of 2 police officers on November 30, 2018 was connected to the LTTE. This belief was held for 4 months before suspects with alleged links to the National Tawhid Jamaat was identified. A compact disc containing the final report of the Commission of Inquiry on the bomb attacks of April 21, 2019 has been provided to the committee. The President has authorized the committee to inquire relevant officials and examine pertinent documents to thoroughly investigate these matters.
The Cabinet of Ministers has approved the revision of the Penal Code to strengthen legal provisions to prohibit sexual harassment and sexual assault.
On 12th December 2022, the Cabinet of Ministers had approved the introduction of amendments to the Penal Code criminalizing all forms of sexual harassment and sexual abuse, including sexual harassment and sexual assault in public places. The clearance of the Attorney General has been received for the draft bill prepared by the legal draftsman, the Department of Government Information said. Accordingly, the proposal made by the Minister of Justice, Prison Affairs and Constitutional Reforms, Vijayadas Rajapaksha, to publish the said draft bill in the Government Gazette and present the same thereafter in Parliament for approval has been approved by the Cabinet.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe has decided to move the Kulonnava city from its location to a higher ground in the same area. Hospitals, schools, houses and shopping complexes, which are currently in low-lying areas, will be set up on higher ground under the new city plan.
There are suitable lands in the same area and according to the new city plan of Kulonnava, laws will be introduced to prohibit unauthorized constructions. According to this plan, a flood control system in the Kalani River Valley will be prepared.
The Board of Investment has been stuck with billions of dollars worth of investments in the pipeline for years, unable to forge ahead. This is about to change with the new Economic Transformation Bill tabled in Parliament.
The BOI is said to have no teeth to perform its task of becoming the much-needed one-stop shop for foreign direct investments, but on the contrary, it has today become just another shop, analysts commented. The new establishment of the BOI will become a hybrid of the current BOI and the former Greater Colombo Economic Commission, having taken into consideration the successes of other countries like Thailand and Vietnam, official sources said. Initially, the BOI commenced operations under the GCEC when it was established in 1978 to become an investment promotion agency. Currently, the BOI has over 1,600 enterprises under the purview of the BOI over a span of 40 years. In effect, the new Economic Commission will look at going back to the old GCEC and empowering the Commission by ensuring it is brought directly under the President. This is similar to the days when the BOI was brought under the President during the tenure of the late Ranasinghe Premadasa, when he spearheaded the drive to establish garment factories in the country. One of the biggest issues is the implementation of policy systems like the 100% imposition of taxes, which is not possible overnight under the new system. Under the new Economic Commission, the authorities hope to bring all agencies promoting investment under one roof.
The National Transport Commission to deploy 500 new buses for the government-subsidized Sisusarya bus service for school, technical college and university students, which has been operating since 2005.
1,537 buses, including 811 buses of the Sri Lanka Transport Board and 726 private buses, have been deployed for Sisusarya, and the government is providing a subsidy of 2,000 million rupees this year for this. Minister Gunawardena has given instructions to use the NTC revenue to run 500 new buses for students due to the demand for school buses from all parts of the country after the increase in transport fares. After the chairman of the Regional Development Committee of each province sends the proposal to the NTC, the buses will be deployed to those areas. The NTC said that the minister has given instructions to use new buses by identifying the routes to cover the maximum number of schools with one bus to cover the whole island. One bus will cover about 3 schools. That is, around 500 new buses will cover nearly 1,500 schools, and a large number of students will be facilitated. The aim of the Sisusarya project is to provide school students with the opportunity to travel safely and comfortably to their school. This service will also operate at subsidized fee, encouraging parents to send their children to school and also providing financial relief to families.
In the wake of recent sentiments expressed by the Government Medical Officers Association, the Health Ministry and the National Medicines Regulatory Authority are keen to address concerns over the influx of substandard beauty products and cosmetics that lack proper regulation.
The GMOA recently called on the Health Ministry and NMRA to gather all relevant stakeholders to discuss enhancing the legal framework and regulatory standards. This initiative aims to address serious public health concerns such as skin diseases caused by the distribution of substandard products. Dr. Haritha Aludge, Secretary of the GMOA, advocated for a collaborative approach to tackle this complex issue that endangers public health. He noted that the current NMRA Act lacks the necessary provisions to effectively address the problem. Dr. Aludge emphasized that beauty and cosmetic products manufactured according to scientific guidelines and recommendations can safely deliver the desired benefits within the existing legal frameworks. Manufacturing and storing cosmetics without registration and in violation of approved standards is also prohibited. Despite these regulations, the official admitted that a significant number of unregistered cosmetics continue to be imported through various channels and are readily available in the market. In response to this situation, the Health Ministry is taking steps to address the matter by engaging in discussions with relevant stakeholders.
The Dhamma Rashmi Homagama Poson zone, which spans 13 kilometers covering Diyagama, Pitipana, Dampe, Migoda, Godagama, Panagoda and Homagama, was held from June 1st to the June 24th.
Cash prizes to the value of 4 million rupees will be given to the winners of the Poson Lantern competitions for adults, school and Dhamma school students. Homagama Sashanarashka Balamandale, the Presidential Secretariat, the Ministry of Transport and Highways, the Western Provincial Council, Homagama Divisional Secretariat, Homagama Pradeshya Sabha, Homagama Zonal Education Office, The army and the police are jointly organizing the Poson Zone. The Poson Lantern competition in the Dhammarashmi Poson Zone is open to one and all, and it was held in 2 stages for adults and for school and Dhamma school students. Adults winners of the first, second and third places will receive 1 million rupees, 500,000 rupees and 200,000 rupees, and from the 4th to the 14th place 50,000 rupees each, and from the 15th to the 25th place 25,000 rupees each in cash prizes.
Wild horses have returned to the golden steppe of Kazakhstan for the first time in at least 200 years after a decades-long reintroduction program.
The 18-hour airlifts of 7 Przewalski's horses from Europe to the Central Asian country took place across 2 operations in early June by the Prague Zoo. The horses so far are doing well, roaming around the plains of their new environment, caretakers said. Their return to their ancestral homeland last week is a triumph of generations of conservation work, the zoo's director, Miroslav Bobek, said. The Przewalski's horse is the last wild horse species on the planet, named after Russian explorer Nikolai Przewalski, who was the first to identify the horse for the European science community. The breed originated millennia ago from the steppes of Central Asia and was taken by researchers to Europe and North America in the 19th and 20th centuries, where it founded larger populations. Some of them ended up in zoos in Munich and Prague. It's their descendants that have now been reintroduced in Kazakhstan. Cultural artifacts show people in the region were riding and using the horses for food in northern Kazakhstan at least 2,000 years before the first records of domesticated horses in Europe.
Well, that wraps up our news coverage for today. You can also reach us on Pio TV, Samsung TV, LG TV, Apple TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, reaching the entire United States and across the globe. Thank you for joining in with us today, and until next time, we wish you a wonderful week ahead.